Brock 05 VP.
It's here!
Oh
my god!
Mang Mang!
Have a go at this one!
No more Iron Lion. Welcome back to Clooney Garage. It's Fred here and Fred Jr. behind the camera. We haven't been posting many videos. We've got a heap of content to share with you. You've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the little snippet. There ain't no 3.8 in there. It's out, Fred Jr. So in today's episode, we'll take you all through the engine removal and what's coming next on our VP Brock Commodore. Alright, so it took about half a day to get out. It's not too hard to get out these things. We took the bonnet off, easy to get the engine crane in there. Here it is here. So this is for sale, this little fella here, 125,000 Ks on this engine. Original owner, so hit us up in the comments if you want it. Also got the standard auto box behind it too, we'll throw that in. But we've just degreased it, Fred Jr., and it's come up pretty well. It's obviously had a nice service history here, and we've just tried to get a bit of grease off it and stuff and clean it up. But it's all the heads are intact, no gasket leaks, no oil leaks at the back of the engine. It's pretty tidy. So if you want to put that in Grandma's roller, hit us up. It'll be a good little daily for someone. But anyway, come to the engine bay. We'll start here, Fred Jr., what we're going to do, because we didn't want this to be totally clean and sort of be a bit, you know, not reflecting reality. That's our crash bar. Now, I actually think our car has had a respray before, because they never actually resprayed this crash bar. So it's only got a bit of surface rust on it. We'll pull that off and clean that up. And we're going to do the whole engine bay. So we'll start from this end up here. Have a look at the state of the plenum in here. Young Fred Jr., it's looking pretty good. So we've gotten all the AC lines out of here, because we obviously don't need AC where we're going. We've got it degassed professionally, of course. When you're taking air conditioners out, don't try and do that yourself. And as you can see, taking the wiring harness out on this side, the pillars are all intact. Look, it's in perfect condition, this car. And this is what it looks like when you pull the engine out. So we haven't tried to clean it up. We wanted everyone to see exactly what it looks like. Most of the wiring is still to go, because on our VP we're not going to have headlights, obviously. We're not going to need indicators as well, so those last little bits of wires will come out. Come down this side, Fred Jr. We'll keep all these radiator supports in place. We'll just clean all this up. Obviously our sway bar and our cross member is going to get changed as well. Going to get ready for a 5-litre cross member, and we've got a donor car as well. So put a bit of picture in the on the side here. We've got like a VN 5-litre donor car that we're going to use as the basis to transport our new engine, box and diff. Alright, now on this side we're going to keep our fuse box in place here. Again, we're just going to remove the last bit of our wiring. Taking our battery out, we'll clean all that out in there as well. We probably will relocate the battery here rather than in the boot, and just for ease of getting to it. And then on our brake master cylinder, we'll probably stick with this one of the booster, but we'll probably upgrade our master cylinder. So I know Harrop do a replacement item there, so we'll have a look there. And then we'll go on with the single Brock Commodore sort of window wiper. That'll stay. And the most important piece here, Fred Jr., is we're going to get all this ready to paint the engine bay. So over Christmas I've become a bit of an amateur spray painter. I bought myself a little spray gun. I've never spray painted before. We'll show you some of my handiwork in a second, but it's good fun. It's a little bit addictive when you start spray painting around. So for the engine bay, we've done some research. We've both got paint to go in the gun, which is the Mobil 1 blue, and we've actually got the little couple of cans made up too from our local shop here at Capital Paints, and that'll help us get right into some of the real tricky bits. And we're going to mask it all up, of course, but we'll use the gun for all the main bits, and then we'll hit it up with the can with the real tough to get bits. That will be our Hewlett-Packard. We're going to obviously have the Hewlett-Packard sticker on there, but we're probably going to get that wrapped in white, in acrylic sort of white vinyl wrap. Ditto will be our headlights here, Fred Jr. So we've got our indicator assembly and our headlight. That's going to be wrapped in white with our NGK sticker on there, as per the livery on the Brock Commodore. We've gone and invested in a number plate cover, which will then have the Mobil 1 on the back garnish there too. So I've got that ready to go. We'll get that wrapped at the same time and get the Mobile One on there. And then most importantly, when we start doing the crash bar, all the engine bay's blue, we're going to start to get onto the white. So we've done some research. That model Commodore, the VP, come out with Alaskan white. So I've got that, a big tin here in acrylic enamel. And speaking of my painting handiwork, let's go check out the Mirage. So you should never try and do painting on something that's of value. Start off with a nunga and learn how to do it. So that's what we've done with the Mirage. You've probably seen how that first looked. It was terrible. You know, it was really a $500 junker. So yeah, $300 paint gun. Watched a few YouTube clips and the end result is a brand new painted car. So Fred Jr., have a look here. Don't get too close to the course, Fred Jr. We don't want the viewers to see all my indiscretions, but it's come a long way. Now that doesn't have any clear on it. That's just the base coat. It's actually a 2-pearl Mitsubishi blue actually. So pretty expensive paint for a Mirage, but anyway, it hasn't come up too bad. When it looks a little bit like a wrap. So so we were going to put clear on top, but what we're going to do now is just get a couple of livery stickers on it. Fred Jr. wants to go with a bit of a Red Bull inspired stripe and maybe a Red Bull on the side, and then we'll hit it up to Wakefield, a $500 endurance challenge. So as I mentioned, we got the bonnet off to get the engine out. So a couple of things we're going to do with the bonnet. We've been looking at the original Brock Commodore. Obviously it doesn't have that Holden badge on there, but that leaves a bit of a hole. So we're going to get that infilled on the other side. We'll TIG up a bit of a covering plate there and get a bit of nicky juice inside there. Where we've got the windscreen squirters as well there, again, 2 holes there that need to be some Mandalorian juice. We'll cover that right up there, and there's a couple of extra bits of bog that needs to be fixed up too. But in general, this is a fairly good condition bonnet, and again, I think the previous owner had it resprayed, so no rust. One tiny little ding up the side there, but yeah, nothing that a bit of nicky won't sort out. The other mods we've been doing, Fred Jr., is obviously Brock's car didn't have any side skirts, so they've all been removed. They were it was good fun getting those off, because I think when the car was resprayed, I think they've just used a massive amount of glue, and so we've obviously got to try and patch a few little bits up there, but all the side skirts are off, and there's a few little wobbles in there that we're going to have to get a bit of nicky in. But have a look on the inside, Fred Jr. We continue to work, and it's a job that you can probably only do an hour or 2 a night, because it's always good when a dog barks when you're talking to the camera, but it's you cannot do more than a couple of hours. It's hard going. Getting the sound deadening off is one thing, a bit of dry ice and a bit of hammering, but then where it's got this sort of yellow like glue, and we've been using a bit of a wire wheel and stuff just to smooth all the finish, because again, all that will be covered in our Mobile One blue as well. But the first thing is to clean all that interior up, get it to fab, get our plating done on the rear parcel shelf on the rear, just like Clooney, and then we're going to get the big Group A touring car cage fitted as well. So we'll get that done professionally. Once that's in, then we'll paint, but that's not going to stop us getting the engine bay sorted. So Fred Jr., we've showed everyone the engine and obviously what we're doing, getting ready for paint. I see you can't wait to get a body kit on all this. What are your plans?
Well, yes, I've been over to replicaglass.com.au where we find all the body kit for all your Commodore and Falcon needs, and we need one of those big VP rear wings that they've got. Oh. Got my eye on one of them.
Rear bar as well, I suspect.
Oh yes, I believe that, yes, the rear bar. We've got some side spats that need to come with us, and we've also got the good looking front spoiler, which makes it a hell of a lot lower and makes it look quite nice.
And we can actually use our anchor points there, because I think those Replica glass front spoilers don't come in with any mounting points. You've got to do it yourself.
That's right. I think they're all custom fitted, but
that's right.
That's all right.
Yeah, and I think for a quick release setup, a bit like the Perkins car, they've got dowels that go off the front that we might mock some of them up ourselves too.
Oh, I think so.
Because we on and off trailer this thing. So it's coming together, Fred Jr. I tell you what, from humble beginnings.
Oh well, it did come from a humble beginning out in wherever it came from. Was it Melbourne?
Melbourne,
I think it was Melbourne.
Yes, well the previous owner, credit to her, grocery getter, churchgoer, and yep, was well looked after, because I tell you what, not a ding in it really, is there? And as I mentioned, nothing that Nicky or Mandalorians can't fix.
God bless the old deer, keeping it so well
kept. Excellent. All right, Fred Jr., we'll sign off on that note and let's get stuck into this engine bay.